Lerva Planus 4672ZP. It's a Lerva television that was introduced in the year 2000. It's a 68cm 29-inch tubed, curved tube with 4:3 aspect ratio and a 100Hz refresh rate. I'm going to test it with a few different things here today. I've got quite the arsenal of stuff. Zapper, NES Zapper and the Sega Virtua Gun there. A number of consoles again, Saturn, AV, Famicom or NES if you want to call it that, Mega Drive 2 and the Sony PlayStation. Here at the front, the hatch is open, power on and off, a few control buttons, S-Video and comps that are available to plug in there. Go around and have a look here. Not a bad looking shell on the TV. The Lerva badge there, and on the back there's two SCARTs. One's occupied right now, RCA sound out. There's the badge model again, 4672ZP, 100Hz, full picture in picture. Chassis type here is Q4140. It doesn't have the 0 on the end, but in the Lerva brochures it does describe that as the full chassis name. Don't think I've had this particular chassis before, so we'll see how it goes, but it's probably going to be another 100Hz affair like they all are. Anyhow, we'll take the back off. I'll have to figure out how to get this one open. There doesn't really seem to be any screws that are accessible easily, but I'll figure it out. Back shell's off. Alright, so Phillips tube, no surprise. 68cm ESF, made in France. Not Germany, France this time. Again, there's your badging there, Planus. It's got a fair old speaker system in it. I thought it might have, because it does crank out a bit of sound. It doesn't sound too bad in the sound department in the TV. So you've got at least your 3 speakers on each side, so not bad in the old speaker department. One other thing I didn't comment about here on the back. Now, Lerva did incorporate VGA into some of their TVs well and truly by the year 2000. This one doesn't have it, but it doesn't actually have the cutout that would be cut out, and then with the VGA card installed, the VGA socket would be poking through the cutout. So not designed, not intended for VGA use, this one, like some of the Lerva chassis that had it as an optional extra. So there we go, yet another inside of a Lerva. Righto, let's move on to something else. One other thing I'll mention is that I've actually got the TV hooked up into an isolation transformer. That just ensures that the power to the TV is very clean and can help reduce any interference that could occur. So I've just included that to eliminate any factors that could be brought on by dodgy power here in the shed where I am. Now you may be wondering, why am I showing you another 100Hz television? Because really they never really provide the goods for classic gaming. So what I've got on is the NES right now, and I'm going to put Duck Hunt on, and I'm going to use the Zapper, which you can't do on 100Hz TVs. It's as simple as that. Already you should be wondering what's going on here, because that gunshot registered then. This is not really a good demo, is it? I mean, I'm trying to show you that it sort of works, or it does work. This is kind of strange because this isn't really supposed to work at all. I've never seen this work before. I've never seen a gun work on a 100Hz TV. So that is very surprising, but it's a little bit premature to assume that it does fully work, because I'm going to show you some other things. So with Duck Hunt, I assumed that the Lerva here was fully compatible with light guns. Most unusual, unprecedented in fact, but I went further to do some more testing just to see how other things went, and right now I've got Sega Saturn powered up with Virtua Cop 2, and I'm in the calibration screen with the gun. Now, I found in this game that when I'm playing it, I couldn't quite hit the enemies all the time. It just wasn't reliable. I had 3 or 4 shots till I hit each guy. So it kind of worked, but it kind of didn't. Now here in the calibration screen, I'm just going to calibrate it. And then center shot, center of screen at the red bullseye is actually pretty good. I'm aiming at that bullseye I'm shooting at, and that's where it's hitting. So that's pretty good. Now, you can see I've got a bit of yellow tape out there on the screen. I'm going to aim at that and shoot it, right? But what's happening is that it's not hitting that yellow dot that I'm aiming at. It's actually hitting, I'm aiming there, and it's hitting there. So, you know, it's a good couple inches out. And it does it in other areas as well. So it's not quite right. There is something wrong, and you can feel that when you're playing the game, because you just can't hit your opponents all the time. So not so good here, not so good with this gun. I'm going to go back onto the NES now. By the way, the NES is running an RGB. The Saturn was running an RGB as well. I've tested it with composite and S-Video with the gun, and it's exactly the same result. I'm going to put on a different game on the NES now. I'm going to put it on Gumshoe. Now you got to shoot this guy to move him around the screen, but I'm having a lot of trouble, as you can see. He should actually jump like that, yeah. So again, you can see that it basically does work. What I've actually found is that the gun seems to be more accurate near centre of screen compared to the edge. It's very hard to shoot down the bottom of the screen right now. But once you get him into near the centre, he's easier to shoot. So it seems the gun is somewhat compatible, but I'm going to test the Zapper out on a good old Commodore monitor and just see how it feels in comparison. So now the NES is hooked up to the Commodore monitor here via RGB into the SCADA in the back. Can't really beat these old things. Let's see how it plays on this monitor. Come on. See, I can make him jump easily at any time there at the bottom of the screen. No problem. It does feel easy to play, much easier to play on a true 50 Hz, 60 Hz display like this. Anyhow, it looks like light guns are not compatible yet again with 100 Hz TVs, such as the one in front of us. It showed some compatibility, but not full compatibility, so it's not really compatible at all. Now I'm onto the Mega Drive. I've got a EverDrive cartridge in here, and the ROM that I'm running is a TeamEOS 240p test pattern. It's like an app, I guess you could say. You can download it. I might give you the link in the description below so you can download it. It's available for various systems, but what I'm here now to do is just to see what sort of symptoms this 100 Hz set gives based off the images fed into it. The one I like here is the scroll test. So it gives you the first level out of Sonic the Hedgehog. It's just scrolling to the right. You can alter it to go left or right, and you can speed it up and slow it down. But basically what I like is that it shows the smearing that's quite common with 100 Hz sets, and you can speed it up to a point where you can see the background, the foreground smearing, but at the same time it's not so fast that you can't keep a track of a spot with your eye. That's really what you want to do, is just focus in on one spot and see that blurring. I mean, it's quite easy to pick up. You don't need a special eye to do it, but I can see it very clearly, and particularly those trees in the foreground, those palm trees, they've almost got like a double image. You can see two of them sort of over the top of one another. It's just like a smearing, blurring effect, and it's very common for 100 Hz TVs to do that, so this thing's no different. It's doing it, and it's a ticket or a cross against its name. So then we can stop it just as such. Now, the TV does feature scan lines. Sometimes these things are removed from 100 Hz sets, so it does have some scan lines there, so that's a plus for it. But that smearing's really not good at all. What I'm going to now show you is the PlayStation 1. I just want to put on the boot up screen the logo, the red P on the black background, to show you some artifacts introduced by the TV. That part of the PlayStation where it boots up is in an interlaced mode, so that can also help reveal problems within the TV's own processing. Just a quick look at the menu system. It's fairly flash. Let me show you. You can actually go into settings and then AV connections and designate which signal type you want into each SCART, and it does have RGB as in game console, so it's telling you, it knows what's going on. You know, there you want a game console in RGB in SCART socket 1, we can do it, but that's how it's been set for the video, but it doesn't unfortunately eliminate the 100 Hz problems. Well, get some power for the PlayStation. I'll just get that set up. Okay, the PlayStation's ready to go. I'll just get it into 4:3 mode. There we go. Oh shit, don't want that up there. Now if we're quick here, if we zoom in, you can see on the red there on the P, down the bottom on the right edge, see how it's bleeding out into the black a bit? Common problem with 100 Hz processing. Reds in particular do play up quite a lot, and so do blues as well. You can see that on the Capcom logo sometimes, that sort of bleeding across type thing there. So even doing it to a small degree there, but not as prominent as what we saw in that PlayStation logo. So really that's the end of the video now. The Planus here is another 100 Hz job, and it's just one of many others that are similar out there, unfortunately. But anyhow, came into my hands to get another one that I had to film. So thanks for watching anyway, and keep an eye out for my future videos. Bye.